All right, here we go. GNC 2, last chance qualifier. You have to finish in the top 4 spots. So top 4 spots or you go to the main, ladies and gentlemen. Top 4 go to the main. This is the last chance qualifier. 23F, Jeffrey Lowry. 98C, Rob McClendon III. 19B, Justin Jones. 20C, the full-time road racer, Mike Dillon. 20C, 78J, Dylan Phelps. 22A is Mitch Harvitt. Row number 2, 54A, Dan Bromley. 89C, Chris Boone. 18A, Derek Hirsch. 32C, Brian McRoberts. 44A, Jerry Alexander. Keep your eyes on 94B, Ryan Wells. He's way back there. And row 3, 11F, Curtis Vandekoy. This is it for this class, Chris. You got to finish in the top 4 spots or you're done until we go to Springfield next weekend.
Very, very important from the second row. Second in points, the 54A, Dan Bromley needs to get up in the top 4. Oh, we have a couple riders get together. One gets up in the slick stuff, up on the high side. Rider down.
Looks like he's up and okay. They're going to keep on racing down the back straightaway. We race until we see red or until we see checkered. His seat came off, but they're going to still racing.
Jerry Alexander, the 44A, goes down as the red comes out.
So one rider does go down in turns 1 and 2. Red flag, you like that or not like that?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and make the judgment for AMA Pro. I think when you have a rider down in that part of the racetrack, it is an impact zone. That's why the air fence is there. Probably a good idea to get him up. We saw Dan Bromley run into that air fence, running a normal line. So it is a line being used on the racetrack. Probably the best call here. Get him picked up, see if we can get him going, get him off the racetrack.
That is Jerry Alexander, the 44A. No hometown listing, so he's from parts unknown. I know he's from Pennsylvania because he's got the letter A on there, but he'll get that 650 out of harm's way. The rest of the bikes are either going to go to the hot box on the front straightaway or directly to the starting line. And we're going to bring him up there. Steve Moorhead is right there to check him out.
Interesting thing about Jerry Alexander, very smart young man. His father, Ronnie Alexander, very instrumental in some cylinder head design work for Harley-Davidson on the XR 750s back in the early 70s. So his family has roots in dirt track through the engineering route, as they have a little difficulty trying to get that bike bumped off going down
Looks like
turn 2.
Steve Moorhead's on that Kimco scooter. He's trying to push it started, and it doesn't seem like the bike's firing right now, so may have been part of the reason he was off the pace going into the first corner, but he did get up there in the loose stuff and go down, so we'll have to get things figured out. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened to Jerry Alexander. He started in the second row. He's on the outside of the second row. Here comes the restart. You can watch him. One bike from the front row did not get going at all. That's Justin Jones. Alexander looks like he hooks handlebars with the green leathers. That's Brian McRoberts.
Brian Roberts. They hook together. They go up wide. Jerry gets up in a little patch of dirt right there that's real slippery. He hasn't been kind of buffed in, and he spins it around backwards.
So it's very slick up there. Looked like his saddleman seat did pop off. He reached up there. Most of those riders actually have those Velcroed on their tail section. Is that what you used to do?
Yeah, they're Velcroed on there. That way you can play with them a little bit. Sometimes you can go with a thicker pad depending on the track. So yeah, for ease of changing setup with your seats, they typically just Velcro them on there.
So Jerry Alexander's getting a push back right now, the 44A. That's Steve Moorhead, who's going to push him back to the pit area right now. If he goes out of the racetrack, though, he's not allowed to keep going, so they have a chance to take him to the hot box. This is the GNC2 last chance qualifier. 18 riders, or 13 riders in this case, going to start, and top 4 riders go to the main event. After this one, ladies and gentlemen, up next will be our GNC1 Dash for Cash. 6 riders, 4 laps, followed by our GNC1 semifinals. There will be 2 semifinals, 10 laps of distance. We'll take the top 3 riders directly to the main event. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine, who's caught up with Dan Bromley. Danny?
All right, thanks, Scotty. Dan Bromley, you're currently in second position in the GNC2 point standings. You're facing an LCQ. How important is it going to be to do well in this to contain that points chase on Davis Fisher?
Oh, it's going to be very instrumental. You know, the most points I can get, the better I'll do at the end of the year. And hopefully we can come out of here and transfer. And at worst, you know, have fun. But we're looking to transfer and get some more track time. That's not how we wanted to do it, but trying to make the best of it and get some more track time and hopefully make the main event and get some more points.
How cool is it that this new generation of flat trackers is tearing up Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Oh, it's pretty cool. You know, I never thought I'd be down here, and coming down here and seeing all the history and everything is pretty cool.
All right, Scotty and Chris, we're about to go green.
All right, so they're just going to pull them up to the line right now. When that track's ready to go, Chris Carr, they'll fire up the engine. So I believe we're going to have a complete restart. It did happen right off the start. So they'll pull them up to the line. When the track's ready to go, they're going to turn them loose. They're checking the air fence down there. It didn't look like the bike or the rider got into the air fence, but they want to make sure because that's for the rider's safety.
Yeah, and there are times where the air fence might need some adjustment in its pressure. You know, they have to maintain a certain air pressure over the course of the night to be effective as well.
Let's talk about the air fence fund. I know it's very passionate to you.
Well, I was pretty instrumental. I went to John Ulrich, who runs the Road Racing World Action Fund, and said, hey, is there any way we can get air fence for dirt track? And his answer was, well, would you like to be on the board of directors? So I immediately accepted and kind of took it upon myself to go out there and try and solicit as many donations on behalf of all AMA Pro flat track riders. It's been a very good addition, safety addition to our sport. We know that they're not going to be moving walls out and putting in gravel traps like road racing at the dirt track. So if you wish to donate, go to roadracingworld.com. Click down on the lower left-hand side, Action Fund, and say it's for dirt track, and it'll help put some of these airbags up.
Let's go trackside with Danny Medina. I think she's caught up to Jerry Alexander, the rider that went down. Danny, take it away.
All right, thanks you guys. Jerry Alexander, you had a hard get off. Can you take us through what happened?
Getting into the first turn, somehow I got somebody's handlebar under my elbow and just couldn't get it free by the time we had to make a turn.
Now, you look like you're okay. How does that shake you up? Take us through that.
That doesn't bother me at all. We're used to that as racers, but it shakes me up more. I got an electrical issue from it.
Right, disappointing day for Jerry Alexander, but we're going to be going green, you guys.
Sounds good. Tough break for Jerry Alexander. Like you said, he caught somebody else's leathers or handlebar going to the first corner. Here we go. Complete restart. GNC2 semifinal, or the GNC2 Last Chance Qualifier, I should say. Top 4 to the main event. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your eyes on the Christmas tree. You got to get a good start. A good break for Justin Jones because he had a terrible start in the first one. Wow, the 78 goes nowhere. That's Dylan Phelps goes crazy. So does Harvitt on the 22. He's having trouble getting into the right gear. Here comes your leader off of turn number 2. It's the 20C. Here comes the 12.
Oh, and he gets handlebar taken out by the 23F of
Jeffrey
Lowry. They come together fighting for the same real estate coming off of turn 2 and just rips his handlebar out from his hands.
Well, you can see how important it is here. This is a last chance qualifier. You have to finish in the top 4 positions. Everybody's going for it. That's Jeffrey Lowry, the Horizon Award winner from last year, who from St. Louisville, Ohio, got underneath the 20C of Mike Dillon, who's a full-time road racer, and man, it just took his handlebar right out from underneath him, and he goes down coming off of turn number 2.
Yeah, really nothing Mike could do about that. Lowry got a good run off of turn 2, got hooked up, kind of went up into the 20C, Mike Dillon protecting the inside as he had a good start. They came together, and Dillon gets the bad end of this deal.
So they also said, I've been listening to the AMA Pro Radio, if Jerry Alexander gets his electrical problem fixed, he can actually rejoin the pack. They're talking to Mike Dillon right now. Steve Moorhead on the back straightaway with a 20C, and if he gets his bike fixed, if he's ready to go, then they'll let him race. Also, he'll go to the penalty line for bringing out the red flag. So let's go take a look at the replay. We can see this is the first corner. You can see the leader is the 20C. He got
gets sideways
coming off of 2. Here comes Lowry.
Lowry gets a good drive, hooks up, comes up into him, and pretty much just takes the handlebar out. And guys behind did a great job going around him.
Wow, everybody misses him. No contact was made at all, so good.
Tough break for Mike Dillon, as I believe he had an electric start on that bike. He got going pretty quick.
He got it and took off. Looks like he has part of a broken clutch lever. Looks like he can reach down there and it is broken almost all the way. So the perch, it looks like where you put the lever in is broke.
He's able to figure out a way to use it. However, he's just going to have to kind of hold it in place there, and it won't have time really to replace it. But looks like he's got a bike that's operational, if not 100%.
So tell me once again what's on the gas tank of that thing. TOBC?
TOBC stands for The Old Boat Company. Went down and asked those guys earlier. I have a feeling that they do a little bit of restoration on some older boats, and they've been longtime supporters in road racing, and Mike works on their team, and here we see him out here dirt tracking back at his first love.
And it also looks like Jerry Alexander has his electrical problem fixed, so he's back there on the 4th row. Again, 4 rows now. There's motorcycles on all 4 rows. One motorcycle is going to circle back around. That's the 78. He went absolutely nowhere off the starting line, so he gets a good break. There's Robbie McClendon.
Robbie McClendon, D&D Cycles, Triumph. part-time dirt tracker, full-time Triumph dealer down there in Florida.
He actually promotes a couple races over there in
Promotes
Greenville,
some-
Ohio.
Yeah, and he also promotes some supermoto races down south too. So good to see him out here skidding it around.
All right, here they go, ladies and gentlemen. It is Last Chance Qualifier, GNC2. Light turns green. They go into first corner. Here they come.
McClendon out front with
Bobby, your
Harvat on the
leader.
outside.
Here comes Lowry's right there in the catbird seat. The 23F's going to come up the inside. He's going to try to take over the second spot. Triumph out front. It is Robbie McClendon to lead him off of turn number 4. Here they come. Lap number 1 going in the books. GNC2. Last Chance Qualifier. Look at Lowry. Put the pressure on the leader.
Yeah, pressure from behind with Lowry. He gets it turned, gets up underneath here, gets a good run up off of turn 2, but McClendon goes, no siree.
Shuts the door.
Shuts the door, runs it off into turn 3 in the lead. Gets it a little sideways.
One rider trying the high line, the rest of them on the bottom, the Pee-wee line. One rider is up there, the Kevin Atherton line. That's the 22A, I believe. Possibly. We'll see who it is.
That's Mitch Harvat running up there on
I
the
think
outside
18A.
edge.
It is.
Oh.
No, it's 22A. Okay.
Mitch
Different
Harvat.
on our screen, yeah.
Yeah, but we got up the inside. Lowry tries to make the move going into turn 3. McClendon doing a good job running the bottom of the racetrack, protecting the inside. Says, hey, if you're going to go by, good drive by Lowry coming off of turn 4. Got the thing down, kept it down in the moist dirt, even on the straightaway.
4 riders go to the main event. Here comes Lowry off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway right by us. We're actually announcing from the back straightaway. Ricky Bobby, Rob McClendon back there in second. Third spot's the 22A of Harvat. Harvat's running the high line. He's going to try to make the pass into second. So we got a Kawasaki.
Dan Bromley, second in points, finds his way into the 4th position. That time by. Dan Bromley in the final transfer position, doing what he needs to do to keep his championship hopes alive.
Bromley looks like he's run very cautious on the bottom. Here comes McRoberts on the 32C. He goes back to the high side. He started in the 10th starting spot. He's now up to 5th. We got Hirsch right there, the 18A. He also started in the back row, top 4 to the main event. It's Lowry out front. The 23F shows the way. McClendon is there. So is Harvat, your top 3. Dan Bromley still in the 4th spot. Can he hang on to a transfer? He's second in the point standings, Chris.
I believe he can, but McRoberts is going to give him a fit here with 2 to go. Going to do everything he can. He's not following. Well, that time into turn 1, he kind of followed him in there a little bit. He's going to want to do everything he can to get by as Bromley opens up a little bit of gap in that 4th position.
On Twitter, it was TOBC is who. Danny Eslick rode 4th at Daytona 200. There's your bow for 4th as the white flag flies. One more lap to go. It's Bromley trying to hang on to 4th. Your leader's not pulling away by very much. It's Jeffrey Lowry, the Triumph of Rob McClendon in 2nd. Harvat's in 3rd, and Bromley's right there in a solid 4th place finish. Again, 4 riders to the main event. Last corner. Here's your leader. Jeffrey Lowry's going to bring him off of turn number 4. He is last year's Horizon Award winner. He takes the Last Chance Qualifying win. Rob McClendon on the Triumph goes to 2nd. A bunch of Kawasaki's behind him, including 3rd place, 22A Mitch Harvat. 54A Dan Bromley, your 2nd place rider in the point standings, finishes 4th. Dylan Phelps 5th. Derek Hirsch 6th. Brian McRoberts 7th. Mike Dillon 8th. Chris Boone, Jerry Alexander, Curtis Vanderkoy, Justin Jones, and Ryan Wells does not get credited with the finish. So Lowry's trying to find his way back to the victory podium. They told him in the riders meeting to pull off the back straightaway. Doesn't look like very many people were paying attention.
Made his way around for an additional lap here, but he'll make his way over to the podium. Good run for Jeffrey Lowry. Grew up on the pea gravel of Ohio, doing well in this semi on the clay here of North Carolina.
So he's up there on the victory podium, the 23F. He was also involved in that incident on the first lap and somehow survived it. Kind of when the leader got sideways, he went right on through. It looked like he didn't make the same moves again here today. And let's go trackside. We're giving our leader, or our winner, just a second to take off his helmet, and he is on the podium. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine and our Last Chance Qualifying winner, 23F.
All right, thanks you guys. Charlotte, how are you guys liking flat track tonight? This is pretty much the best place to be. You guys are great. I think it's one of the loudest crowds yet of all the races I've been to. Jeffrey Lowry transferring into the main event through the LCQ. That's got to feel pretty good.
Absolutely. It feels great racing out here in front of this big crowd. You guys are awesome. Like Danny said, you guys are loud. You guys are into it. It's great to see all you out here. This track's awesome. It's a lot of fun to ride. It's it's easy to override, so I'm kind of adjusting myself and getting the bike together, and hopefully we can move forward in the main event.
Now, there's a couple sponsors that I assume you need to thank.
Absolutely. I have to give a huge thank you to just everyone that's helped get me here. All the Gray Hogs, they've supported me all along. Weimer Cycle, doing this in memory of Eli, Woody Kyle, Englehart Racing, just Race Pro Motorsports, everyone that helped get me here. My friends and family, thanks for everything.
Well, good luck in the main event, Scotty and Chris. It's time for the Dash for Cash. I'm
All
ready.
right.
You guys?
Here comes the Harley-Davidson GNC1 presented by Vance Hines. Dash for Cash on the pole, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 42 of Brian Smith from Flint, Michigan. Starting second from Center Hill, Florida, 2, Kenny Coolbeth Jr. Third spot is our points leader. It's the 1, Jared Meese. Starting fourth, the 44 from Oxford, Pennsylvania, is the Triumph. That is Brandon Robinson. Starting fifth from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, on the factory Harley, it is Jake Johnson, number 5. And starting sixth from Salinas, California, on the Stevens Racing Hot Shot sponsor, number 14, Briar Bauman.
Important.
Here we go, Chris.
Important race for Kenny Coolbeth and Brian Smith. They need to win. Get every single point will count for them if they are going to have any chance of running down the number 1 of Jared Meese. Good start from the 1. Meese does what he needs to do, gets out front. Johnson close behind in second.
Smith right there in
Smith on
third
the
up the
bottom
inside.
at third.
Here they come off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. It's only 4 laps, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Brian Smith up the inside to take the lead in turn number 3.
That was a power move down the back straightaway.
Jake Johnson came with him, so it's now Smith, Johnson, and Meese, 1, 2, and 3. This is exactly what these guys need if they want to take over the points and catch up to our leader in the points, number 1, Jared Meese.
With only 5 rounds left, every point counts. Brian Smith needs to win this in order to have a chance. The 5 of Johnson's pretty much out of the points as he's been sitting on the sideline. But the 42 out front needs to win this.
They're on board with Jared Meese, the number 1. We lose footage, but it's still 42 Smith. Here comes Jake Johnson on the 5. The factory Harley's right there in second, trying to get down there. It's low on the racetrack and chase that moisture. It's the 42 of Smith. Johnson in second. Coolbeth, he says, I'm tired of following these guys. He goes in a little bit higher, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Here they come. It's a freight train off of turn number 4. Smith, Johnson, and Coolbeth. Wide flag is out. They almost hit the flag man.
Almost hit the flag man, chasing that brown dirt. Coolbeth around the outside gets a good run through the middle of the corner, hooks it up pretty decent down the back straightaway.
Dives in deep on the outside. Last corner, Dash for Cash. Johnson gets squeezed right back to the third spot.
Trying to square it up, coming off, doesn't quite get the drive.
Woo! What a race. 4 quick laps. Lap times in the 21-second bracket. Brian Smith doing everything he can to keep his championship hopes alive. He takes the win and picks up that 1 point and also a $1,000 bill, and it gives him first pick on the line of our GNC1 main event. So Brian Smith taking the win on the Kawasaki. He's on the Crosley Brands Howerton Motorsports Kawasaki EX650. Second, Kenny Coolbeth. Third, Jake Johnson, the factory Harley. Fourth is Brandon Robinson. Fifth is Jared Meese. He had the lead on the first corner, drops all the way back to 5th, and Briar Bauman comes in the 6th spot. So, man, what a ride by Brian Smith. He's making a statement.
Yeah, a little struggle by Meese, our points leader. Brian Smith taking full advantage. His Kawasaki working real good tonight, doing what he needs to do.
Absolutely. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine. She's caught up to our Dash for Cash winner, picking up $1,000 and 1 point. And also he'll have first pick in the main event. Danny, let's go trackside with Brian Smith.
All right, thank you. Charlotte, isn't that pretty awesome? You guys need to make a little more noise. You can't lose any steam. We're just heating up out here. Brian Smith once again taking a win in the Dash for Cash. That bonus point is extremely important. Take us through that race. It was not an easy one to win.
No, them guys are breathing down my neck just like they always make me do, work for it. And this track, man, it's really a bummer we can't get up high, wide, and handsome and really get it on. But right now we're stuck on the bottom. Hopefully they get some moisture in there for the main. We can really show you guys what we're all about. But right now, shortest way around is fastest way, so that's what I'm going to do.
I don't think you're going to be making any changes. So, Brian, you're heading on to the main event. We wish you luck. Taking home $1,000. There's your check behind you and a bonus point. Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Danny. Brian making a statement right there. Had to pass Jared Meese to get in and take the win of the Dash for Cash. Here we go with our GNC1 class. 2 semifinals. We take the top 3 finishers. On the pole is number 17, Henry Wiles. Starting second, 30S, Jason Eisenach. Third starter, 82, Jeremy Higgins. Number 10, Johnny Lewis on the Lloyd Brothers Ducati.net Ducati Scrambler on the number 10 bike. 58, Adam Carpinello. 55, Jake Shoemaker on the Bonneville Performance Triumph team. Row number 2, 2, 69G, two-time Daytona winner. That is Danny Eslick. 15, the Racing Lady Nicole Meese. 67, Colt Chabot. 35S Dalton Winkler. 41 is Brad Hazel. 69, keep your eyes on slamming Sammy Halbert. He might have had to go to a backup motorcycle. He'll be back there on row number 2. Row number 3, 64C Jerry Steele. 46 Aaron Linfors. 94K Jake Cunningham. And the 89 of Evan Bear. That is your starting lineup. GNC 1 class semifinal. Chris, it's time to get in the top 3 spots, or you're done until we go to Springfield next Sunday.
Yeah, these guys top 3 to the final. Last week's winner, Henry Wiles on the 17, has proven his prowess on the 450 motocross-based bikes. Has won on the cushion tracks on half miles at Pomona and Lima. Here we are in the clay. He's on the inside pole. He's going to have to do something in order to continue to march up the point standings. We'll see if the King Henry of Peoria can be in charge in Charlotte tonight.
Here we go. Watch for the green light. Shows you how unpredictable our sport is. Different kinds of tracks, different bikes here than Peoria, and they're off. The light turns green. Eisenachs gets sideways. Johnny Lewis going to lead him into the first corner. He's bringing Henry Wiles with him. It's tight racing for second place. 3 riders. Carpinello goes into the 2 spot. Off of turn number 2. Here they come down the back straightaway. Look at Danny Eslick up there in the 3rd spot from row number 2.
Eslick runs it around the outside as these guys are all fighting for real estate down at the bottom of the racetrack. Nobody seems to be able to make the top work, but the Ducati Scrambler themed bike up front, Johnny Lewis, the number 10, had a good run in qualifying earlier tonight. Hasn't done much since. That's why we see him here in the semi. Leads the charge here in semi 1.
Johnny Lewis on the 10 bike. 82, Jeremy Higgins. They call him Hollywood. He's in 2nd. Carpinello's right there in 3rd. Danny Eslick back there in the 4th spot. Oh, Johnny Lewis just about steps off the motorcycle.
Yeah, just about steps off. I think that is the 69 of Sammy Halbert from the outside 2nd row up in the 4th spot, looking for a way in, runs it up the inside underneath. Higgins moves him wide, makes contact going into turn 3.
You are right. I thought that was Danny Eslick, but it is the national number 69, and that is Sammy Halbert running his late brother's number the rest of the year. Sammy goes around the outside of Johnny Lewis and makes the pass if he can make it stick. Carpinello's coming all the way around the outside, and the Kevin Atherton line tries to take over 2nd, doesn't quite make the pass. So it's Sammy Halbert, Johnny Lewis, Adam Carpinello, your top 3.
Good run for Halbert, aggressive to get to the front. Let's see if he can start to reel off some lap times similar to what we saw earlier. He's going to have to come from the 3rd row no matter what in the final. He's figured out a way to get from the outside 2nd row to the front. Let's see if he can run the type of pace, running some good laps, 21-0. And track might be picking up a little bit of speed.
Remember, Chris, he had a fall earlier in practice. Or was that a heat race?
Yeah, he had a fall in qualifying. He had a bike break on the last lap of this heat race. Here he is, either on the 3rd motorcycle or back with the original one, running up front, running some good lap times, consistent 21.0s at the front, moving away from the battle for 2nd.
Good, solid race for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Johnny Lewis in the 3rd spot on the 10. We got Danny Eslick right there, the Racing Lady Nicole Meese on the 15. Look at them, a bunch of riders, a gaggle of them coming off of turn number 2 for the 3rd spot.
We see Nicole Meese getting aggressive, starting to move forward, running around the bottom as well. At 69G on the outside, former Daytona, 2-time Daytona winner, Danny Eslick in his best chance to make a main event in GNC 1 this year. Doing a fantastic job, rolls it around the outside edge. See if that momentum can continue forward around the 10 of Johnny Lewis.
So Sammy Halbert, your leader, 69. Carpinello's in 2nd, Johnny Lewis on the 10. Here comes Danny Eslick looking at the high line. 2-time Daytona 200 winner, back-to-back. He's looking for that 3rd spot away from Johnny Lewis, and they're starting to catch up to Adam Carpinello on the 58. Johnny Lewis gets crazy going into turn number 1.
We got 2 laps left here. Eslick rolls around the outside, gets himself ahead of the 10. Let's see if he can hold on down, slips it up a little bit off of 2. These guys fighting for the last transfer spot into the final.
They're catching up to Carpinello's running the high line. Johnny Lewis and Danny Eslick are Eslick on the 69G. White flag is out. Last lap into the 1st corner. It's still Sammy Halbert. Carpinello's got 2nd, but Lewis looking for it. Eslick trying to square it up and go underneath.
Squares it up, goes underneath. Johnny Lewis uses, and he goes by going into turn 3. Danny Eslick rolls it around the bottom. 69 off of turn 4. Sammy Halbert with the win.
Here comes the battle for second, third, and fourth. Off of turn number 4, Carpinello hangs on to second. Danny Eslick puts it in the main event. This is where his older brother, AJ Eslick, got his national number, was right here at this very same racetrack, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Look at him wheeling down the back straightaway. Danny Eslick, always exciting to watch. He goes to the main event.
He gets to knock that G off of his number plate as well.
Let's take a look at the replay of the start, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come off the start. Here they come. Watch what happens off the start. 10 gets sideways. Eisnach gets really sideways, but it's the 10 of Lewis. Got him into the first corner first. Look how far Sammy Halbert goes to the high side. They're 5 wide.
Goes 5 wide, keeps his momentum up, puts himself up in the 4th or 5th position after lap 1, and marches on forward.
Your winner, the 69 Sammy Halbert. Adam Carpinello second. Danny Eslick, your third and final transfer spot is the 69G. Danny Eslick gets that third spot. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine and Sammy Halbert. Danny, take it away.
I'm sure we have quite a few Harley-Davidson fans, so if you're a Harley fan, make some noise, because I'm pretty sure Sammy, there we go, I like that. I heard you were pretty happy today, and now I'm assuming you're even in a better mood, but let's take us through that pass for the lead.
Yeah, you know, today was going all right, but unfortunately we broke a bike in the heat race and had to kind of come from the back in the semi, but it felt good to get up front. Kind of went for it there going into turn 3, got in a shut-off contest with Jeremy, I think, and felt like I had the position, but he kept going, and then got a little tight there, but happy to take the lead and take the win on this on our backup bikes. It's working pretty well, so we'll make a couple small changes and be ready for the main event.
I'm sure you got some sponsors you want to throw out quick.
Yeah, big thanks to Briggs Auto, Martin Trucking, and everybody that's helped me out so far. Really appreciate it. Millennium Technologies, Enerlon, thank you.
Good luck to you. You're going on to the main event. We have one more semi-final right now. Scotty,
Last qualifying race of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Harley-Davidson GNC1 class presented by Vance Hines. This is their last semi. 96 Cody John Cox, Attica, New York. 93 Danny Kelch. 23 Jeffrey Carver. 28P Michael Bickerton. 52 Shayna Texter right beside her older brother. 65 Corey Texter. Row number 2, 53 Don Taylor. 16 Wyatt McGuire. 23Y Ryan Foster. 69F Ben Evans. 14B Brian Hazel. The 12 of Jay Maloney. Row number 3, 66Y Dominic Calendres, 49 Chad Coase, 11C Shane Fox, 83S Mike Poe. Those are the riders scheduled to start this one. I just heard there's a few riders who have scratched and will not make the start of this one. Brother and sister outside row number 1. Chris?
Yeah, younger sister Shayna lines up in the 5th position. Older brother Corey, recently married, on the outside. Looks like he's got his bike kind of pointed down toward to the bottom. He's giving his sister a little bit of room there. But a good start, I think, is very important. We've seen these guys fighting for the bottom of the racetrack. There are some other lines starting to develop. We saw back in the field there, Eslick going around the outside. We saw Sammy Halbert go around the outside, get to the front. We're starting to see the racing line open up a little bit.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our last qualifying race. After this will be our second and final intermission, but we take the top 3 riders out of this one, or you're done for the night. Light turns green. One rider goes absolutely nowhere. It is Corey Texter in the first corner first.
Texter into turn 1 from the outside. His sister lined up next to him, had a very difficult time getting off the starting line.
Corey Texter down the back straightaway. Here comes Jeffrey Carver on the 23. Texter slides in there a little bit deep, but he brings it back to the bottom. Look at John Cox go to the high line. Danny Kelch on the low line. It's all that behind Corey Texter. Jeffrey Carver 1 and 2.
Corey Texter on a brand new motorcycle. This is the maiden voyage for this bike, just recently put together. I heard it was delivered to the racetrack by Barry Smith, father of Brian Smith. I have a feeling they might have had a little something to do with building this bike, but great to see the Cycle World Kawasaki Vulcan out there leading the semis.
They actually fired up for the very first time yesterday afternoon in the van still. So it's Corey Texter off of turn number 2, Jeffrey Carver in second, Cody John Cox back there in the 3rd spot, number 96, and now in the 4th spot is Danny Kelch. He's 1 spot away from a transfer to the main event, so it's Kelch. Bickerton's right behind him, and there is Shayna back in the 6th spot. Not good enough to make the main. She's got a few more laps. Actually, she has 7 laps. She has to finish in the top 3 spots.
She's fighting for position there, 5th, starting to move forward to see if she can continue that march. using every inch of the Charlotte dirt track in order to get to the front. Goes up around the outside of Michael Bickerton.
So she's up to the 5th spot now, ladies and gentlemen. Shayna Texter's on the move on the 52 bike. She had a terrible start. She's working her way towards the front. She has to pass 2 more riders to make the main event. Corey Texter leads him off at 2. Carver still in 2nd. John Cox is in 3rd. Danny Kelch up there on the 93, run the very bottom of the racetrack, trying to get up there back to the 3rd spot. There's Shayna on the 52 bike. She is in 5th. Bickerton just about comes off the motorcycle, and the 16 bike comes on through. One bike off the pace over there coming off of turn number 4.
Yeah, we had one rider slowing down, exiting turn 4 as we focus in on the battle for 3rd. Cody John Cox and Danny Kelch fighting over the last position. Corey Texter, the newlywed, getting himself a wedding present here by leading the semi round. Looks pretty comfortable up front, has a good gap. 4 more laps, and it's his.
Let's take a look at this replay. Shayna Texter, as she got around Michael Bickerton, you can see Michael Bickerton gets into turn number 3 really hot and makes a man, the back end just kind of came around on him, stood him straight up, and somehow saved the bike.
There are parts of this racetrack where the bike will just step real hard, real quick, and you got to do everything you can to catch it. You did a good job keeping that one on 2 wheels.
Corey Texter's maiden voyage on this motorcycle. That's my co-host on the Flat Track Weekly Radio Show every Tuesday night. Follow us on Facebook.
Well, you guys are certainly going to have plenty to talk about on Tuesday.
Or
he will certainly have plenty to talk about. But Corey Texter doing a great job at the front. 2 laps to go. Doing everything necessary, opens up a 1-second lead over Jeffrey Carver Jr.
Watch the battle for the 3rd spot, ladies and gentlemen. That's where it's very important. It's Texter out front. Carver's in 2nd. Danny Kelch is up there battling with Cody John Cox on the 96. And just right behind them is Shayna Texter. In case anything happens, Shayna is right there.
They're side by side for that last position. John Cox that time by with 1 to go. Running pretty good. Actually gaining on the 23 of Carver. Gets through the middle of the corner. Doesn't quite get the drive coming off. But
last lap, watch this battle for the 3rd spot. Last corner, here comes your winner. It's Corey Texter who's going to take the win. Here comes the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's C-Tex taking the win, 65. Where's the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th?
Looks like John Cox gets it, and for the 3rd position, Carver solid in 2nd.
Carver takes the 2 spot, number 23. John Cox in the 3rd. As soon as everything updates, so it is C-Tex on the Cycle World Vulcan taking the win, number 65. Jeffrey Carver takes 2nd. Cody John Cox will get that 3rd spot. So Danny Kelch, Shayna Texter, Ryan Foster, Michael Bickerton, Wyatt McGuire, Don Taylor, and Jay Maloney round out your top 10. Ben Evans, Brad Hazel, Shane Fox, Chad Coast, Dominic Lindres, and Mike Poe. The last 2 did not make the start here today. So Corey Texter puts that Kawasaki in the main event. So we're going to talk to him in just a second. And we're going to take our 2nd scheduled intermission, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to put some water on the racetrack, so after this interview will be a short break. It's time for intermission after this winning interview, and then we'll come back with our GNC 2 main event and then our GNC 1 main event. 2 races left, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last intermission after this interview. Let's go trackside with Danny Medine and my co-host, Corey Texter, on the Flat Track Weekly Radio Show. Danny, take it away.
Thanks, you guys. Not only did Corey Texter get married, he's been kind of MIA and comes back swinging as a privateer on his own team. Corey, you got to be pretty happy right now.
Yeah, I'm stoked. You know, we built this bike yesterday, or the bike got finished yesterday. We just started it yesterday, so the first time this bike's ever seen the track was in practice today. So we, you know, at one point we were 35th in qualifying, just kept plugging away, learned something new every lap, and a little bummed actually that I look back. I was hoping the 52 would have followed me into the main event, so that was a little bummer, but a little bittersweet win here. But yeah, no, it's been great. I want to thank my sponsors, Cycle World Magazine. Those guys have been great. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. McElroy Packaging, Gordy Shireprey, Alan Rodenborn, Jared Alexander, Chris Hawkins back in the pits, my wife, Amber, and my whole family. My sister, too, Shayna Texter, she gave me this frame to use, so big thanks to her, and thanks for all the fans for coming out. We appreciate it.
Now, I got to ask quick, I mean, because there's a lot of new AMA Pro Flat Track fans here. What is it like to race against your sister?
Oh, it's awesome. I have a blast racing against Shayna. She's one of the, I don't want to say the few, but I can definitely trust racing with her. And I have a smile every time she's in front of me or behind me. So I'm not sure she feels the same. She definitely always wants to beat me. But it's a good time, and I enjoy racing with her.
One more question. How do you like Charlotte?
I love Charlotte. I've been here all week on my honeymoon, and I love it here. I might make this my permanent address here in the future.
I kind of didn't want to leave either. I like it here. Charlotte, make some noise for Corey Texter. He's going on to the main event. Scotty and Chris, back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Danny. Congratulations to Corey Texter on his maiden voyage. Takes that Kawasaki directly to the main event. So up next, we have the main events. All we have left, ladies and gentlemen, 2 main events, GNC 2, GNC 1 main events coming up shortly.
Founded in 1966, Camping World has grown from a single store in Bowling Green, Kentucky, to the nation's #1 retailer of RVs, RV accessories, and RV-related services with over 100 supercenters nationwide. Whether you're looking for a pop-up travel trailer or a diesel motorhome, we have the largest selection of new and pre-owned RVs at the lowest prices guaranteed. We carry all the top manufacturers, and our knowledgeable sales staff will help you find the RV that suits your lifestyle needs.
Camping World would like to introduce you to a whole new world. Say hello to a fresh day. Step out to adventure. Explore and discover an amazing world. Be in arm's reach of wonderful. Camping World, the #1 RV and camping expert, wants you to say hello to a whole new world. Visit campingworld.com.
Peoria TT liftoff at the AMA Pro Flat Track for the only time this season. GNC2 class, returning veteran Jesse Janish, off for multiple years, comes back in the GNC2 class in a knockdown drag-out battle with GNC2 point leader Davis Fisher in his first Peoria TT. Racing like veterans, multiple passes, action at Peoria doesn't get any better than this. The red flag comes out, resets the field, but the battle at the front continues. Fisher and Janish back and forth multiple times.
All right, we're taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing some track maintenance. Get ready for our 2 main events. GNC2s are up next. Don't forget to stop by the T-shirt booth. Pick up a souvenir T-shirt from making a return back to the dirt track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Also, the pits will be open after we get done. And the T-shirt cannon firing up those T-shirts from AMANationalNumber.com. Check that out while you can. Also, don't forget to fill out the survey. You fill out a survey before you leave. They would like to hear what you think about it. Also, if you fill out the survey before 8 to win $100 if you fill out that survey. Chris, did you get a survey? I didn't either. Chris Carr's, he just ran to the little boys' room. He can't even hear me right now. So we're taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen, here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Don't forget, next Sunday, the legendary Springfield Mile, September the 6th on Sunday. There's a golf tournament on Friday, which is September the 4th. If you want to be a part of it, you can golf with the legends Chris Carr, Scott Parker, Ronnie Jones, the Class of 79 and friends, and much more. Check them out on Facebook to get registered to play golf. That's Friday. All proceeds benefit riders who get injured in our sport, the greatest sport on dirt, flat track, motorcycle racing. After that, the series goes to the Roar on the Shore, Delaware International Speedway, which is Del Mar, Delaware, September the 19th. And then we go to back to the West Coast for the final 2 rounds, Calistoga, California, September the 26th. Round number 13 is the Calistoga Half Mile. And then we wrap up the series with an indoor this time at the Orleans Arena, which is Friday night, November the 20th, round number 14, the flat track season finale, Orleans Hotel and Casino, followed by the Super Prestigio American version going on Saturday night, November the 21st. So this is our last chance to take a break. Stretch your legs and be ready for our 2 main events. Coming up next will be the GNC2 main event, then our GNC1 main event. 2 races left. And don't forget, the 50-50 is up over $872 right now. And they're going to draw the winning number here shortly. So if you got a few more minutes to pick up a 50-50 ticket. So I'm going to step back off here, take a short break, visit with your neighbors, and we'll be back here with more racing action from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway.